Now, if you want to be successful in life, guess what? Do not care what they say or think. This is what I've realized with the society. The society tries as much as they can to make you be who they want, not who you are meant to be. This is it. For example, hey, there is this norm that is usually there in the society. For example, hey, when you are born, you expected to walk, crawl fast, walk, go to the kindergarten, go to the primary, secondary, tertiary. Once you graduate, they ask you, hey, now you're old, you're supposed to marry. Okay? The moment you marry, hey, you're staying long, you're supposed to have children, and then you get one child, and they're like, hey, come on, you don't get one child, get like two or three, then you get a friend, they're like, now you can take them to school. There's a way they sort of like control you, that's kind of a thing. And let me tell you one secret. The moment you start to care and sometimes conform to what the society says, and you've seen there is a glitch somewhere in the society, then it means that you keep on doing the same thing. Even if you went to school, you're being ignorant. And on this video, I'm going to share with you exactly what you're supposed to do, which is it. Stop caring what they are saying or think and be able to do something about yourself. And that's the time that you realize your life. And let me tell you one secret before I even say anything. The moment you start being yourself, that's the time you start losing them. That's the reality. The moment you start being, have you ever tried to say maybe you are drinking? There's some people maybe are watching this video and they used to be drunkards and now they've changed their lives. Or maybe they used to, do certain thing and they changed completely. What did your friends say? Hey, they say, oh, come on, he's changing now. Okay, you see, she's changing now. She's trying to make it look like she's an angel or something of sort. They start painting you some names and to a point whereby you feel like, oh, God damn, am I doing it wrong or something of sort? That's a reality. I've ever faced that backlash in my society. And by the way, guess what? Not only in my society, but also from my family members. Now, this is it about you not caring about what they say for you to achieve their success. All right. And as I'm writing something here, I'm expecting you're actually hitting that like button. Are you? Yeah, exactly. Down below there is a small button written subscribe. Hit that button and also like the video. Comment down below. Let's get in the business now. This is what you're supposed to do. For example, and I'm actually talking this information to, let me just talk to the graduate and the rest as well. Says you're a graduate under there, okay? You're a graduate, you got yourself a degree. Guess what? This is a system that you went through all the way since you were a young child, and here you are. They told you you're an engineer. There are no jobs. You're struggling. You do not know even where to start. This is what you're supposed to do. And I'm gonna give you an example that I did myself. I'm not selling you theories here, okay? And I'm not a motivational speaker. I talk the truth the way it is, okay? Now, say you're a graduate and they told you you're an engineer, all right? You're an engineer. If you are an engineer, obviously, maybe there are no jobs there or there are limited opportunities, okay? Now, it means that you're jobless. And it means if you're jobless, then you're struggling. Meaning, maybe, hey, for you to feed, eat, or drink or something of sort, you really have to, it costs you like an arm or what? They say an arm and length, whatever, and leg, whatever it is. Now, the point is this. See, the reason why you actually fear doing or trying something is because you actually fearing what the society says. For example, say you are a firstborn, you are a graduate, and maybe the only available job is maybe you being out there and paint. Oh, by the way, I used to paint, by the way, for your information. And then you're like, hey, come on, what will my siblings even say when they see me doing exactly this kind of a thing? And maybe let's say you start a very small business, maybe worth like 2 or 3 or 5,000. And then you're like, what will the society say? Hey, I'm a graduate, I went to university. I cannot be able to do this kind of a thing. All right. The reality deep inside of yourself, the subconscious is telling you, hey, you know what? You ain't got getting a job like, okay, fine, there is no job, but this is what is available for you to actually, you may not be able to achieve your dream like instantly, but at least you can be able to eat, drink, and do your things. And there you are, you're limited by what you actually be fed in your brain. Let me tell you one secret. This is what you're supposed to do in life. You're supposed to shake off what you think they think about you and do what you think and believe is the best for you. That's a reality. I always tell people, do that what is available as you wait for that what you want. That's a reality. For example, if I share my life, and I love sharing my life because it's actually relatable. And maybe you might think, okay, how can we verify that? You can verify this by watching my older videos like 2 years ago or something. I was in painting and I'm a graduate. I didn't have a job and I was like, hey, I have to eat, I have to drink, and I cannot be able to depend on parents. Oh, by the way, I ceased depending on parents all long time ago. And I knew, hey, I'm going to pick that what is available. Probably you are working with people who are not even went even to high school. They are the one who are employing you, but to just be a little bit humble for you to get the today's bread. Guess what happens? They won't going to pay you a lot of money that's going to achieve the entire little bit dream that you're having. But at least when you can be able to drink, feed, and dress yourself, you become a little bit stable. And you will become a little bit stable mentally, not financially, mentally. So when you're stable mentally, you can actually be creative. You can be able to do more and more things. For example, I painted, I got some few cash, I, sort of sacrificed myself and actually had a lump sum of money. I bought myself a good camera. When I say a camera, like a good phone, because obviously I saw it from a point of, hey, guess what? I can actually be able to, not only record video, but I can also make some calls. And then from that particular point, I had the dream of actually making videos about this and that. Okay, now here I am. That's how exactly you do it. But now the problem you're having is that you're out there, you're a graduate. Then you think like every system should actually be shut. Focus on you and then actually do something for you to elevate yourself. The moment you walk into the society, in the society with this kind of a mentality, all what you'll be getting is discouragement. And this is what happens to those guys who are jobless out there. They tend to substitute the reality to these fantasy things and maybe getting themselves into, I don't want to mention those things that you go, no, guys, what you usually do out there. Now, what is my point? My message here is simple. Make sure that you do not do what, or do not even care what they are saying. For example, when I was starting up, a lot of people are telling me, hey, you know what, Joseph, we were expecting you to go work in a hospital setup because you are in medic field and you were supposed to be there, and here you are, you're talking about money, and you say that you're going to go back to school and get a little bit information about finances and what have you. And then I told them, hey, guess what? This is me. This is how I'm going to do the thing. This is the thing that comes from deep inside of me. And obviously, I lost some of the friends. And in the process, hey, some of them actually even painted some names. I was even actually out there struggling to tell them, hey, subscribe to my channel and what have you. I actually remember one thing. I got my first dislike from a friend. And when I say a friend, I mean like a close friend. And the dude gave me a dislike after telling me he's going to give me a dislike. And I was like, really? You're going to do that? And said, yeah, I'm going to give you a dislike. And I was expecting you to be the first person to give me a like. No, tell me, no, I'm going to give you a dislike. You won't believe the same friend who called me some few days ago asking me how I can be able to be a successful YouTuber. Whatever, that's life it is. Anyway, the point is, you're supposed to, but never revenge, okay? Help where you can. The point is, it's always good to make sure that at least you do not listen to what they say. And I always love to give these people example. Ask yourself, if you were to take statistics from where you live, between the rich and the poor, who are the majority? Absolutely, you got it right. Then if it means that the majority are the poor, then would you do what the majority are doing? Right. So that means you have to do what the minority does. What does the minority does? Exactly. They sacrifice. They don't eat all what they get. They don't blame anybody. Have you ever seen the rich people on the front line trying to condemn the existing government? They're like, hey, you people, you're not even doing anything what you're supposed to do. We don't even like you and all those kind of things. They don't do that. Guess what they do? Hey, they look at what you people are listening. Let me tell you one secret. One secret of actually making money is listening to what people are complaining about. If people are complaining about food and you have the ability to actually get into the business and do something about it, you go, for example, hey, let's take an example. I know all of you who are watching this, you are all born when the COVID-19 came. Yeah, that's a good thing that I'm talking to so you can relate to this. Rather than me talking about, I don't know, the black water of Europe that happened in 1910. Now, we all here when the COVID came. And when the COVID came, there's some people in Kenya, by the way, if you ask people, there are people who are called COVID billionaires and millionaires. I don't want to go the political way, but there is these people who are selling the mask, all those kind of things. There are people who are earning tenders to supply and all those kind of things. There are people who actually made it in that COVID era. And some people actually lost their jobs. So in every storm, there is always that opportunity that is out there. So the question is, so if you see a storm, now, would you like to benefit out of the storm, or you just want to be one of the individuals who are complaining? That's a reality. So the point is this, I'm not digressing, I'm sharing this information that do not care what they're saying. In this 2024, this is what I want you to do. See, if you're living in a life whereby you have to prove a point, not only to yourself, but also to friends who are out there. Whenever I think that you want to do, you have to prove to them. Leo, they have to, they have to sort of like rubber stamp, whatever the decision that you want to start. Say you want to start a business, they have to rubber stamp. And if they say no, then it's a no. Who told you they're the one who can justify what is workable and what is not workable? That's a reality. The point is, it's always we have that. And let me tell you one secret. You see that kind of an idea that crosses your mind every time, like when you're by yourself, that is most likely the right information that is being crossing out your head. And the moment you go out there, share with people, and then those guys, they're like, hey, it has never worked. I've saw somebody who started that, never worked, and all those kind of things. So if you keep on listening to people, you ain't gonna do nothing. But I'm not saying that you should cease listening to people. What I'm simply trying to tell you is that, hey, listen them obviously with a filter in your ears, meaning like you can filter that what is appropriate right before you, so that at least you can be able to grasp the maximum a lot. For example, this one is a little bit digressed, a little bit in the social life. For example, you may have a lady who is married somewhere listening to your fellow women who are telling you, hey, this doesn't work. Your husband doesn't do that. Then there you are, you get out of your house and you disappear, and then the marriage is gone. And those guys who are telling you they're saying their marriage, now who is being stupid? That's the reality. That's how the life is. So what you're supposed to understand in life at all the occasion, at all the time, make sure that you stop, cease listening to people. Do that what is appropriate, provided it doesn't violate anyone's right, anyone's will out there. And if you do exactly that, guess what happens? You start now achieving the real dream about yourself. This crowd thinking, this issue of flocking with people, this issue of saying, hey, this is the norm, ought to do that, the norm thing. Because I actually rub shoulders with the most of the people in some of the things. I don't want to raise those ones because it may sound like they're a bit of conspiratory or controversial or something of sort. But I always love to question some of the things that I see normally, for me to see, hey, guess what? This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do this, and all those kind of things. So that's the reality. So what are the points to take home on this video? Simple. Number one, obviously I say don't listen to what people are saying. Number two, pick that what is available. When I say pick that what is available, do not complicate your life by actually trying sort of to create new things. If you are able, go ahead and create them. If you aren't, then listen to what is available. And by the way, solution is usually not so far from where you are. For example, when I started painting, obviously what I did after graduating, I was listening to the guys who were surrounding me. That's what they were doing. And I was suffering. I didn't have money. So I had to ask myself, like, fine, what exactly can I actually be able to do, even if I want just like a 500 shillings in a day? That's like $3.5 or something of sort in a day. At least that will actually pay for my meals. And I was like, oh wow, I had some friends who are doing some normal jobs here and there. I had to link up with them and tell me, hey, guys, hey, yeah, I'm done, I've graduated. They're like, oh wow, now you're amazing, now you're about to go to job. Not now. Yeah, I do not have one, but anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to going one. But hey, this is what I wanted you guys to help me kindly. Would you mind maybe linking me up tomorrow as you guys go for a job for but I want to pay my bills. And they're like, wow, yeah, I'm serious. Yeah, I just want to link me up. And they were like, you serious? Yeah, I'm serious. Sure. Wow. Fine. No problem. Tomorrow morning, they called me and we went to job and I got something at the end of the day. Guess what happens? I had some stresses. I was not able to feed, and then I was able to feed. Now, when you feed, at least you can be a little bit creative. If you have a computer and internet in your house, now you can actually apply for more jobs and all those kind of things. At least you can buy yourself a shoe, even if not the most expensive one. Perhaps you get called for that interview. At least you bit presentable. You get what I'm saying? Now, that is exactly what you do. So don't complicate things. Listen to those guys who are surrounding you. That is exactly what I did. Then after doing that, now as you move along, do not be comfortable. Now this is where the problem comes in. You pick that brush and become comfortable. You pick that roller, you become comfortable. You pick that whatever thing that you're gonna pick that works for you, you become comfortable because it's paying your bills and all those kind of things. No, never be comfortable. Okay? So once you cease being comfortable, that's the time now you start doing what? You start being creative on what exactly you can do. By the way, I used to record those videos when we were in those places painting. I would use that one hour to actually go ahead and record my video, make sure that I've eaten, I relax a little bit, and they were like, and then during the time I would tell them, hey, you know what, I have some YouTube channels. Maybe you can check it out and all those kind of. Then they were like, you're speaking in English, like, damn, bro. I mean, did you go to school or something of sort? I remember there were some people who will talk like behind my back and ask, well, this guy has a very good English. Now, is he a grad? Who is this guy? I remember there was an even time I did confuse one of my bosses, and they were like, the way you communicate, I mean, like, well, it is what it is. And I'm saying this not for bragging, but for the glory of God. And one thing that you're supposed to understand in life, you have to pick that what is available as you wait for that what you want. Am I still at the destination? No. I'm still aiming to achieving more and more. And you can actually pick that as you progress to the next level. That is exactly what we do. Pursue, be consistency, be disciplined, and be focused. That is the only ultimate recipe for you to be successful. Guess what? That marks the end of my video, but don't forget this. Make sure that at least you hit that like button, subscribe, and as well comment down below. And by the way, you can as well pick my number from the description of this specific video. Let's have a conversation about investment. For now, it's a goodbye and see you in the next one.